Have you ever had a hike that was just an awesome hike, that was probably your favorite hike of all time out there on the trail, where you had all this serendipity that happened to you, and you had this encounter with wildlife that could have ended it for you and all the folks around you on day one? Well, that's what happened to me in Rocksylvania, and I want to share that with you. All right, folks, I am getting ready to start in Pennsylvania. I'm gonna get on up the trail just a little bit because it is loud here on 16. But we're starting at 16. Really busy road coming up here. Kind of have to play Frogger to get up through there. Let's go ahead and step on the trail. Here we go. All right, get back in the woods, get a little bit of noise dampening going on here, nature style. So, this is Pennsylvania, starting Rocksylvania. And if you can go and find my last time I was here in Pennsylvania, hadn't got back to where we started yet, so I'm duplicating a section here. But come along, and I started our first lash together 4 years ago. So we went up here and we started at Metzer Gap, where my wonderful, gorgeous daughter Millie Mac was our trail shuttle. And she shuttled us over here. Spent the night in near Gettysburg at a place that had these weird animal sculptures. And anyway, so we stayed there, and then she brought us up here. And well, first we had to go drop off Come Along's truck down south. So we dropped that off first at I believe it's Bears Den. Is it Bears Den Hostel? It's the stone castle looking thing that the ATC has down in Virginia, Northern Virginia. So we hiked from where we're getting ready. I'll show you when we get up here, Metzer Gap. So we hiked through this little place here, and we went all the way down there. So that was when we did the Maryland and West Virginia, and went through Harper's Ferry, and then down to Blackburn Trail Center, and then to Bears Den Trail Center. If I got that right, I'll correct myself. I'll leave it down here if I didn't. But anyway, so now I'm heading NOBO, and awful excited about this trip. So going to be doing it with Fresh Ground's going to be supporting. I know people out there goes, Fresh Ground, do you ever hike without Fresh Ground? Now, Disco, if she's watching this, she'll be the first one to say that. Yes, I do hike without Fresh Ground most of the time. However, well, let's say 60% of the time. That's most. However, if Fresh Ground is going to come out and support us, me, whoever's with me, then by golly, I'm going to do it. But what happened this time is that we had a supporter from the Leapfrog Cafe, and I am on the board. And so this was a supporter that really helps out the cafe in a big way, and Fresh Ground supporting him. And I decided to chime in on it because I didn't have plans for my trip, and so I wanted to have my plans for my trip for this summer. And so this is where I'm at. So this is Metzer Gap. See the AT pointing that way. And so this is actually where Millie Mac let us out here. I don't know if you remember that, Millie Mac. I'll try to go back and get that picture of where we started right here. But anyway, this is the picture where we started, and we went Subo. So now I'm going NOBO. Pumped up about it. Going to be out here for the rest of the week, or most of the week, and we'll get as far north as we can. Definitely past Duncannon. We'll see how far we get from there. It's gonna be a great hike. I am pumped up. I hope you guys will stay with me throughout the course of the trip, and you'll enjoy it as well. All right, let's keep on going. All right, as is my typical fashion, I'm giving you a 20-minute check-in. So, getting in here, I know I have always dreaded Rocksylvania. Swore I'd never do it to my through hike. However, the part I'm going to be doing is not as rocky is not the rocky part. So I think the rocky part starts in earnest after Duncannon. I mean, let's face it, it's AT. There's gonna be rocks that come up and gang tackle you everywhere, just looking for a plantar fascia to beat on. But I don't think we're going to be in that section for the most part. So been looking forward to this for months now when Fresh Ground first told me about it. Tell you about my trip coming up here. So I decided that I was going to take the train up here rather than fly. So the train is a 9-hour train ride on the Crescent, coming up from Charlotte and comes into Baltimore. First stop is there. It's called BWI Airport, and there's a train station right there at it. So that's where it's supposed to be a 9-hour, turned into 10.5 hour because we got down to the station in DC where they typically swap out the engines, go from diesel to electric, because the northern corridors is I guess mainly electric, because all the commuter rails and everything else is up here, so it's set up for that. So you're swapping out the engine. There was a antique Pullman car on the back end of the train that they had pulled up from New Orleans, and they were dropping it off in DC, and it would not unhitch, and they worked on that thing for an hour trying to get it unhitched. In the meantime, an hour and a half. Meantime, they've turned off all power on the train, so there's no Wi-Fi and there's no AC, more importantly. And so here we sit. So I'd had the 9-hour train ride. Have not done that since I was a little kid, and my parents took us on a train ride down to Florida, and this was the age of Marineland and sponge diving in the old leather and brass helmet, Navy diving suit, Marineland and alligator farms, and Disney World was not even built. It was in the process of being built. So there was a welcome center there that had risers all inside this one building, about the size of half the size of a field house for a football game for 2A high school or football field. And you went in there and they had a diorama in the middle, and they lit up the diorama and told you what Disney World was going to be about. So we didn't go to Disney World, we just went to the property of the Welcome Center. So that was back in the day, and I hadn't done it. I was probably 6 or 8. Hadn't been on a train other than commuter trains since then. And so I decided, hey, for my nostalgia's sake, I want to ride the train up there. Well, I did enjoy it. It was a full train. I did enjoy it because I had some great conversations, met some really neat people up there, had some great conversations, and really whiled away the time with the people I met. And here's one of them, Merle Lee. She's it was really amazing. We got in the dining car, and all of a sudden I'm talking to 3 or 4 different people, and they're all like travelers. And when I mean travelers, I mean like world travelers. One of the ladies was Latino, and she's just been she speaks like 4 languages. And then Merle Lee was just she was taking the Amtrak 30-day tour, where she's been going all over the country for the past 30 days riding the rails. So and then another lady who, I swear, she had children who were getting children who were getting ready to retire, and she was 81 and she looked my age. So just cancer survivor, just it's just amazing people out there that you meet. And so, they were all like Merle Lee. Everybody was totally different than me, but it was really neat. Had a great time. And so that part of it I really enjoyed. What I didn't enjoy was I just didn't fathom that train cars rock back and forth and up and down for 9-10 hours. Sure didn't think about being stuck in DC for an hour and a half with no AC on there. So I'm glad I had the experience. Will not be doing it again. My wife gets motion sickness, and it'd have been a vomit comet the whole time. Already had decided that I was going to fly back. I mean, the tickets to fly are half of what it costs for the train. And even with the train, another reason I picked it was because it's going to cost me about the same in gas as I spent on the train in my truck. My truck, I've got to get the engine rebuilt on it. So didn't want to come up here and then the thing die somewhere on the road. So that one go. Oh wow, this is gorgeous. Look at this, all these ferns and stuff. Yeah. So I didn't want to die. I didn't want the thing to die on me halfway up here, and then that'd be a whole lot more. So I decided it was cheaper to fly, $76 for a flight, and from Charlotte to Baltimore, and then the plane ticket was like twice that. I mean, I'm sorry, the train ticket was like twice that. So anyhow, I typically spend $350 just on a flight for a lash like this every summer. So that's what I did, and glad I had the experience. Don't plan on having that experience again, and certainly not on a 10 and a half hour train ride. So there you go. And I think I'll probably throw a little bit of video here of what's going on there at the train yard in DC. All right, as you can hear me, I am here in DC, and we are changing engines. So I believe our stop, BWI, is one more stop up Maryland, and up at Baltimore. BWI is at the airport, so that I think is the next stop. But we got to change from diesel to electric up here now. So I guess everything in the northern corridor is electric. So they let us get out and stretch our legs while we're up here. So it is really loud here, and I will tell you more about my travel experience and a little probably on trail, but I did want y'all to see the station here and see the train and all that neat stuff. So we'll be getting back on here shortly as soon as they change out these engines. All right, so as is my usual, when I get to the trail of day one, I go ahead and get started. And so doing that today, I'm just hiking in. Usually I hike 8. If I can keep it at 8 the first day, or 5 to 8, just because, you know, I'm always getting to the trail late, and right now the sun's getting down. So I'm hiking 5 to Old Forge picnic area. I don't know if that's a place that I can set up a tent. We'll see when I get there. There is potable water, pit toilets there. It's not why I picked it. I just picked it because it was 5 miles in, and originally it's where Fresh Ground was going to meet me, but because of the delay on my train, Fresh Ground is ADD. Actually, he's ODD, and so he's both. He's ADD and odd. But Fresh Ground, he's got to get in bed at 8. That's just what it is. So he's going to meet me there. I've got Gandalf, who is the man, and he picked me up at the train station, brought me up here to 16 where Fresh Ground was waiting on me. Fresh Ground came in from Montana, I believe it was. So he was trying to get to the CDT, and his motor blew on the Leapfrog Cafe. So it's been down for a month. He flew back home, went to work, and then when they said they had it ready, had to fly back out there and go to the Ford dealership where he had him. You'll recall last year we had to put a motor in it, and so that motor died. So they, you know, it was under warranty, but still had to front the money for it. I think we may have had to pay the labor on it. When I say we, I mean the Leapfrog Cafe. And so if you want to send Fresh Ground a little something to help him out with the labor on that. I'm sure the cafe would greatly appreciate it. But anyway, he ain't been home, so so he drove all the way out here and to meet me in Dianimal to get started. So, but like I said, it was too late in the day, so I met him at 16. He brought me a sub, and then I got on the road, or got on the trail rather, and I'm going to stash my pack somewhere. So let me back up. Gandalf is bringing my pack. I'm slack packing this 5 miles. Gandalf's bringing it up there to me, and I'll camp out there. Try to stay in that state park. If not, there's a campsite a 1/10 of a mile away, right there on the trail near a creek or something, and I'll come back to that and get a campsite there, and then stash my pack in the morning after I've had me some breakfast, and slack pack home to next 10 miles where fresh ground. I'll have lunch, and hopefully he'll have picked up my pack in the meantime. So that is the plan for tonight. We'll see if that works. Should. And maybe just see you one more time before we get to camp or before we're down for the night. This is the Deer Lick shelter site. It's got some tent pads here. It's got 2 shelters. I guess one's for snoring and one's for non-snoring. Pit privy there. And so they'll each hold about, I don't know, 6 to 8, depending on what kind of pinch you're in. It's like we got a spring here. So we got some water source. There's some some blowdowns from Debbie, little Debbie that came through here. I call her Little Debbie because there's some more. By the time she got here, it was a hurricane where I came through Florida, but then got downgraded to a tropical storm, and so it came through here. I think it's a tropical storm, so I call it Little Debbie. Anyhow, yeah, so that's a shelter site. Something that I wanted to mention before is we'll play a quick little trivia game of those who watch my channel on a regular basis. So last year I did Massachusetts, and there was a particular type of gear I said I was going to get. It was very, very hot and muggy, some chafing going on. So I threatened to get some type of gear. And then this past hike, a month or so ago, again threatened the same type, something to help with heat. So that was the type of gear. Leave a comment down below if y'all remember what that type of gear was, and I'll share that with you later on in the hike of the gear that I got, and that'll give me a chance to try it out and tell you some pros and cons on it. Anyway, want to make sure I got that because I'll forget it. I'll get low on electrolytes and get confused, and there you go. So I'll forget to do it. All right, chat with you in a bit. All right, I'm 0.2 from the forge. So there's water here, but I was expecting it to be rocking and rolling. I think I hear it rocking and rolling more. I may be coming back here to camp if there's some type of sign that says don't. What does this sign over here say? Notice area closed to camping. So assuming that's everything on the other side of that sign, because I may still have to camp somewhere up in here somewhere. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, yep, there is good water flow. Yep, that'll work. Oh, I think I see a meadow too. So maybe where I wind up camping from the night. I'm 2 tents up here from where I'm supposed to meet up with my pack. So that's probably what I'll do. Oh yeah, here's a nice little grassy meadow. This will work. Probably a road or something. But yeah, I can definitely make this work for, oh wow, look at that. Definitely make this work for a camp spot. I'm going on up to the park now. I have no idea what that sign means right there with the slashes through it, because anyway, that's where my pack is, where Gandalf's going to meet me. And there's a All right, made it to Old Ford's picnic ground. There was a tent symbol here, like you could camp here. I didn't see anything at the, there's a kiosk over there. Didn't see anything at the kiosk that said I couldn't camp here, so I've set up camp. A lot of people drive through here. Somebody just pulled in. It's a civilian small car, so I hope it's okay because I'm set up and ready to go. So there's the site for that, and really nice place in here. And then they've got a spring house here, and there's actually down that path is actually AT, and I could camp out, could have camped down there somewhere, but I chose to camp up here because it was good and level and comfy grass. And there's a faucet over there with potable water. And I know it's potable because it says pure drinking water year round. Awesome. So this is it. So this is home for the night, and the plan is in the morning for fresh ground. Gonna meet him about 10 miles from here. I got to find a place to stash my pack, and in that way fresh ground will stop by and pick it up, and I'll keep on slack packing. So that's kind of where we're at. Getting ready to make a phone call back home, make sure everything's good to go with mama, and then it's getting close to hiker midnight, so by that time it'll be time to go. Easy 5 miles, probably 500 foot of elevation gain, so no biggie. But pumped to be here, pumped to be in Pennsylvania. Been needing to get back out on trail for seems like forever, but certainly for a month. So that is day one of Pennsylvania, and we will see you in La Mañana, and check out tomorrow where the big reveal is on the new gear that I got. So leave a comment down below for this video. We'll see who gets it right. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great evening. Appreciate you, and I hope to see you out here.